Hello, this is another video for M.E.R.C.S 2nd edition, and this time we are looking at the Russian faction, the U.S.C.R. Like I just said, they operate mainly out of Russia, but I do believe, according to the background, unless it's changed, it's also Alaska and Canada, I think. I could be wrong on Canada because they've got other mega corps very close, but then again there's M.E.R.C on one side, Texo on the other side, so I think I'm right, I'm not sure, which is confusing to everyone including me, but nevertheless. So starting with their corporate traits: dense. U.S.C.R team members do not roll arm failed checks from strength 1 weapons. This just means from things like pistols, machine pistols, some one-shot rifles, that sort of thing. All members of this faction don't roll for arm failed checks. That being said, if an opponent flanks them or does rear attack on them, then it'd be high strength, so you know, dense wouldn't apply in that case. Intimidating, I can use my mouth properly, I promise. Enemy targets that are required to roll courage checks have their dice rolls decreased by 1. That's pretty powerful if you're doing suppression quite a lot, because for each suppression roll on target on the same turn, it's -1 to your courage. This would mean it's effectively -2 to your courage roll, which is pretty powerful. So let's start with their leader, which is the Commissar. So, initiative modifier, not reaction modifier, that'd be cool, of 1, reaction of 4, courage of 3, movement of 1, 3 blood, 3 armour, 5 armour failure, and 6 interact. So, kit, semi-auto, can shoot it short, medium and long range, can't shoot in melee, 2 attacks needing 6s, strength of 2, got ice grenades, just ice in this case, got 3 of them, base, short or medium range, so 2 card lengths, 1 attack needing 5s, throw 2, frozen 3. On the model, or if you look here, it's got another little gun. It's basically what shoots the ice grenades. So, and you'll notice the semi-auto hasn't got move and fire. That's deliberate. That's just not. That's meant to not be there, is what I'm saying. So, go on to the personal abilities. Leadership. All members of this team within 1 card length, including the smirk, increase their dice rolls by 1. This just effectively means things like firing numbers, a -1, so you can fire easier. Repair checks are -1, so you can repair armor much easier. And interact checks much easier to do as well. Flesh wound, this merc ignores the first blood taken per skirmish. This just effectively means the first damage he takes, ignores it. You'd still have to roll armor failure check. It just means, doesn't matter if how big the hit is. Oops, sorry about the camera. It just ignores it. It did used to have demo, which I think ignored traps because he had grenades, but because that's been removed, it's been replaced by something much better. So frozen 3 on his ice grenade. If this attack is successful, the target gains 3 frozen tokens. The target removes 1 token for each activation. For each token on the target, decrease his movement points by 1 and decrease the attack roll by 1. This means at the start his -3 movement and effectively +3 FN or +3 to hit in melee. Then the second turn, -2 movement and +2 FN or +2 to hit, and then on the third turn, -1 movement and +1 FN or +1 to hit. Yeah, sorry about the pauses, my throat is very dry. Template on the ice grenade is just that far, which, considering the effect of ice, yeah, being any bigger would be too powerful. Throw 2 consumable, it just means you can throw the grenade 2 card lengths rather than just 1. Because it's a grenade, you don't have to target anyone. It is the only, I believe, the M.E.R.C. grenade you have to do that. Yes, it's got an FN, but that's just because it's fired from a gun. So if you fire at open ground, it's -1 to hit, but it's a dud if you miss. So yeah, the Commissar has been improved a little bit. So coming on to the gunner, which was the 7th model in 1st edition. So starting with initiative modifier of 2, reaction of 5. Camera spotted something. Courage of 5, movement of 2, blood of 4, armour 2, 5 armour failure, 6 interact. So kit, shotgun, base short medium range, so 2 card length, 2 attacks needing 5, strength 2, attack and move template load. What most shotguns used to be was 1 attack, and then if you hit, targets take more than 1 blood. But now shotguns do 2 or 3 dice worth of damage. In case the text goes 3 dice, but it's only 1 card length. But it is quite powerful. Load means you have to wait a turn to fire it again because it's shotgun. It didn't have that on this one. It's kind of like a pump action shotgun where you keep firing and firing and firing. But I guess it makes sense here. So he's also got a gas mask, closed systems. This just means he's immune to the negative effects of smoke, and also to toxin grenades and the effects of toxin. So that's always good. And I believe stun, if I look on the other side. Closed systems, blind and toxin. Yeah, so pretty much immune to flashbang grenades as well. So going on to the personal abilities, motivated. This M.E.R.C. may snap to cover twice per activation. This means he could snap round a corner, shoot, and then snap back round the other way, or snap round a corner and then snap round the other corner if you wanted. Tough as they come, this M.E.R.C. has 1 additional blood. This is applied, that's why it's got 4 health rather than 3. So attack and move on the shotgun just means you increase the movement by 1, decrease your movement by 1, and increase the FN by 2. So you need 8s rather than 6s, and you can only move 1 card length. Load I've already explained, and template. So everyone within 2 card lengths takes 2 attacks worth of damage. That includes friendlies because it's a template. So there you go. Gunner. The closed systems didn't used to be immune to flashbangs, but now it is. It's been made slightly better. Shotguns, no automatic 2 blood, but at least you get 2 attacks at all ranges with shotguns, so that's better, I suppose. Swings and roundabouts. The gunner's a very good option if you want someone out there just shooting people. So coming on to the booster. The booster used to have a different model. Used to be hard for him to stand because he used to look like he was doing the can, but now he's got a different model. Better? You decide. You decide. Initiative modifier of 2, reaction of 6, courage of 5, which is slightly high for this faction in my opinion. Movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 5 armour failure, 7 interact. So his kit is single shot with his short, medium and long range, you can't fire at melee, and 1 attack needing 4, strength 2, aim, which means you have to take, if you aim, you wait a turn, and then the turn after you've aimed, you -2 to your FN, so you'd need 2s instead of 4s. My throat is very dry and I do apologise. Enhancers, he's got 4 of them. Base, so it has to be next to someone to use them. Act and move, so you can move and get in close to someone to use them if you want. Boosted 2 and adrenaline 2. So personal abilities, from Helltop Fire, this M.E.R.C. gains 1 attack immediately after being killed, which isn't bad, nothing to be sniffed at. Martyr, after this M.E.R.C. is killed, all other teammates increase their dice rolls by 1. That Martyr used to be if there's a grenade nearby, he takes all damage from that grenade, so if it hits 3 people, he takes all the damage, which, you know, it's alright, but it's a bit haphazard in my opinion. But this version of Martyr is way better. So Adrenaline 2 on the Adrenaline. If this Merc is under the effects of Adrenaline 2, this Merc has his courage roll increased by 1, reaction increased by 2, and increased the attack roll by 2. Adrenaline used to be increased the attack roll by 1, but as you can see there, it's made much better. Boosted 2 consumables, so as the action you have to, if you want to use Adrenaline, that would be the action. This Merc may use an enhancer to gain Adrenaline 2 to one team member within range as his action this round. This would include himself. This effect lasts for 2 rounds. Discard 1 enhancer after use. So there you go. Not many people use the booster, but for this faction, really powerful. Really powerful. As I keep shaking the card. Really powerful. Anyway, on to the Monkey Wrench. One people seem to think's really boring. We'll see. Initiative modifier of 2, reaction of 5, courage of 5, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 5 armour failure, 5 interact. He's got semi-auto, short, medium, long range, 2 attacks needing 6s, strength 2, same as the Commissar's one. He's got 3 repair kits. He's got to be next to someone to use it, repair, act and move. So, you know, same as the boosters, act and move on his Adrenalines. Repair just means you auto repair broken armour on one model, including himself if you want. To be honest, the interact should be a bit lower, but you know, fives isn't bad. But yeah, for this faction, I kind of would recommend the Monkey Wrench, but that's just me. So coming on to the personal abilities, back off. This Merc may move 1 movement point immediately when hit by melee or ranged attack from melee range. That's alright, nothing wrong with that. Move your ass. After inflicting 1 blood, this Merc may gains 1 movement point immediately. Again, that's pretty good, nothing wrong with that. The thing with the Monkey Wrench, there's nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong whatsoever, there's just nothing stand out. I think that's people's problem with him. But like I said, nothing wrong with him. So coming on to the Medic. The Medic has had a slight model change as it looks more like the Gunner than the Monkey Wrench. Which is better because a lot of people couldn't tell the difference, but now you really can. So coming on to initiative modifier of 1, reaction of 5, courage of 5, movement of 2, 3 blood, focus camera, 2 armour, 5 armour failure, 5 interact. So he's got a semi-auto, same as anyone else for this faction, don't need to go over that I suppose. Med kits need to be next to someone. Act and move, same as the Monkey Wrench or booster. Heal 2 means you heal 2 blood off someone. Medkits used to be heal 1, but now it heals 2. It's all good. Eagle Eye. This Merc may re-roll 1 of his attack d10s each round. Eagle Eye used to be, the FN was decreased by 1, so it used to be 6s in 1st edition. That's kind of as good. Is a reroll better than a lower score to hit? Gives you... It's not worse, but I suppose it's just as good. Rinse and repeat. If this Merc attacks the same target last round, he increases his attack roll by 1, increases weapon strength by 1. I suppose this would counteract the argument I made for Eagle Eye being is a minus number better than a reroll. Doesn't matter when you got this, I suppose. This kind of means you have to focus on one target, but with this faction you're not really moving that far, so I suppose you really do. I would say you only increase your attack roll by 1 and your weapon strength by 1, so it won't. So the FN won't go any lower than 5, and the weapon strength won't go any higher than 3. That's just what I think, but I suppose some people could argue the otherwise, but that's just me. So Medic has been made better. Nothing wrong with that. So, coming to the star of the U.S.C.R faction, the Behemoth. If you look on the Kickstarter page, there is a Kickstarter exclusive Behemoth mould. Oh god, he is gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen. He really is. It came with two bases, one I think 40mm base and one 50mm base. I stuck them both together. Slightly regretting it now. I wish I just kept it on the 40mm, but hey ho, I might remove it if I can be arsed, but I suppose I'd just use it as a display piece because it does look quite nice. So, initiative modifier of 0, reaction of 3, courage of 2, movement of 1, blood of 3, armour of 4, armour failure of 6, interact of 8. Kind of same stats as before, except initiative modifier weren't there. So he's got full auto, short, medium and long range, can't fire at melee range, which won't matter with this guy. 3 attacks, needing 7s, strength of 3, set and rip, template. Hammer, base range, so it's a hammer, melee weapon. 1 attack, strength 3, melee 1, penetrate 2. So get on to the personal abilities. Heavy, this M.E.R.C. doesn't need to set to receive the set and rip bonus, this is applied. Normal heavy full auto weapons that need 8s, but in this case because he's heavy, need 7s. Speedy, this M.E.R.C. has 1 extra movement point, this is applied. So if it doesn't have the personal abilities, he ain't moving. So melee 1 for the hammer, this M.E.R.C. increases weapon melee attack roll by 1. That's kind of important because for this guy I can see him just swinging at fast people and not actually hitting anything. Penetrate 2. If this attack is successful, the target's armour failure roll is decreased by 2 for this attack only. So I suppose if someone's armour failure stat is 5, it needs 7 or higher to actually stop his arm from breaking. Set and rip. This may wait 1 round as his action to increase the attack roll of his weapon by 1 until he moves again. Because it is heavy, that's always applied, so need 7s rather than 8s. Template, it's in the large T template and it just keeps going and going and going. You can't move and fire with this weapon, but it's a case of he will hit a lot of people. He's slow, won't go very fast, but if he hits so hard it's unreal. So coming to one of the most underrated models for this faction, but one of the most sneakiest, the Sniper. Initiative modifier of 1, reaction of 4, courage of 6, slightly high but Sniper I suppose. Movement of 2, blood of 3, armour of 2, armour failure of 4, interact of 7. Single shot, because it's sniper rifle effectively. Can shoot at all ranges, melee range, short range, medium range, long range, because it's technically not a sniper rifle. It's kind of like a normal harpoon gun effectively. 1 attack, needing 4, strength 1, that's always been the case. Aim, which is same as the gun booster's rifle. Pinned, which we'll get onto a minute. Pistol, base and short range. 1 attack, needing 4, strength 1. Aim, it's just a pistol. So personal abilities. Crack shot, this may 1 score attack success per skirmish. It just means he can auto hit once per game. Lucky, this may negate 1 attack success against himself per skirmish. This effectively means he can ignore 1 attack per game. That does include the nuke because it is 1 attack, which is a bit Ludo narrative disco biscuits, but you know. And if you don't know who that's a reference to, I should look up Jim Evans Sterling's son. But moving on to something more relevant at this time anyway. Pinned for his single shot rifle. If this attack is successful, the target is unable to move until an interact check is passed. This is why it's so sneaky. You could use this against Kemvar or anyone else who's gonna try and scupper your plans really quickly, and you can slaughter them. Bearing in mind the the single shot weapon isn't isn't like 3 of them. He can use it each round if he wants. I mean, he only needs 4s. I suppose with Kemvar, if he's in cover, you need 7s. But if you aim, you could decrease that to 5s. And with the Commissar nearby, decrease that to 4. Or increase, or it'd be decreased if you don't aim, to 6s, which still isn't bad. Still isn't bad. If they're in cover, of course. Ooh, camera's following something. So yeah, the sniper, pretty good. So coming on to one of the new guys, the engineer. So initiative mod 5-2, reaction of 4, 6, reaction of 6, yes. Courage of 4, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 6 arm failure, 4 interact. So single shot, so short, medium, long range, you can't fire at base range. 1 attack, needing 4s, strength of 2. So he's also got a slam ram, which if you've seen them big drills around that that are used to make giant chases in walls, or just to demolish walls, it's kind of one of them, but on a slightly bigger scale. I don't know. Yeah, it's that sort of thing. I can't really think what it's called off the top of my head. It's late. Base, because it's a base range, because it's a melee weapon. 1 attack, strength of 2, breach, act 1, act and move, melee. So effectively means if you're using it to breach, which you can do, you can move into position and just chisel away at a wall. So turning over. Personal abilities, be careful, very careful. If this merc is in the skirmish, he adds 1 no trap token to the trap supply, and team members in short range decrease their trap roll by 2. In the main rulebook, it talks about you making a cup with traps and no trap tokens. I would ignore that, to be honest, because that's just a bit of extra thing that I don't think anyone cares about. But just do the trap rolls, really. R for cover. If this merc is in base range of cover, he's considered to be in weak cover, so even if he would be in the open, it's just effectively leaping over a wall and then leaping out again very quickly. Act 1, if he's breaching. If the breach action is successful, this merc gains an additional activation at initiative 1. Ignore this effect if the merc's first initiative activation was on a 1. This just means he's bursting through a wall, shooting at things. Act and move. Allows him to use a slam ram while moving when breaching, because you can move into melee and attack at -3 in this case. Breach. This merc places a breach token over cover in base range of this merc. If the breach token meets or exceeds the cover, it is successful. This just means it can go, if a little token about this big goes further, well, if the cover goes further than token that big, then you've breached, it's successful. Melee no, this merc increases the melee weapon attack roll by 0, which makes sense because them things, they're not the heaviest things, I suppose, but they are cumbersome. They're quite big, so yeah, I can see why, actually. So yeah, engineer, not a bad model, if you want to get a bit of moving in there. So, coming on to another of the new guys, the Pathfinder. Initiative mod 5-2, reaction of 4, courage of 5, movement of 2, 3 blood, 2 armour, 5 armour failure, 6 interact. He's got a single shot weapon, which is kind of same as everyone else's, but he can move and attack with it, which I'll just show it you. Decreases movement by 1, increases attack roll by 2. Sorry, increases the FM by 2, so needs 6s and only moves 1. which you can't move and you can't aim, but move and shoot gives a bit of options. Flashbang, so you can stun people. Base short, medium, so effectively thrown within 2 card lengths and stun 2. It's a template that big. Stun 2 just means models can't activate for 2 turns. Because it's template, it affects friendlies as well, so be careful in using it. Be very, very, very careful. Unless you're throwing it near the gunner won't care. Personal abilities. Heroic. This merc increases all his dice rolls by 1 at medium and long range from his team members. I suppose with this guy it kind of makes sense. I know the way this merc gains 1 movement point if he is the bounding target. I know the way used to be very complicated, but now with that it's simplified. It just means when he's bounding is +2 movement rather than just +1, which is very powerful, especially when you've got heroic active. So the Pathfinder is not a bad model, not a bad one indeed. So coming on to the last one, and yes, they've also got heavy. If the Behemoth and Commissar weren't enough, you've got another Armour 3 model. So starting with, excuse me, Initiative modifier 1, reaction of 4, courage of 5, movement of 1, 3 blood, 3 armour, 6 arm failure, 7 interact. So kit, full auto, what else would it be? 4 attacks needing 8s, strength 3, short, medium, long range, can't shoot in melee, which to be expected. Set and writ and template. So template is like that. You can split it off 90 degrees, so one's going off like that and one's going off like that, or you can combine them. If you split them off, 2 attacks go one way and 2 attacks go the other way, or if you combine them, it's 4 attacks, which is very, very powerful, very powerful indeed. Set and rip, you'd have to wait a turn to use it. You have to stand still. You can't even snap to cover or turn because that counts as moving. Then every turn after the turn you've set and rip, it's -1 FN, so we need 7s rather than 8s. So personal abilities, precision, this merc increases attack rolls on Overwatch checks by 1. Pretty powerful, especially if the target's moving, which I suppose in some cases they would be. Brick house, team members are considered to be in strong cover if the attack draws line of sight through this merc. Excuse me. So yeah, if someone's went down the wrong way. If someone's targeting the Behemoth and the heavy's in front of him, then the Behemoth probably ain't going to be touched. Yeah, if you're going to do a heavy build, stick the Behemoth and the heavy close together. So yeah, U.S.C.R, slow moving, very, very slow moving, but packs a hell of a punch. They are very, very defensive. A very good starting faction because they've got a monkey wrench and a medic. They've also got the only Arm 4 character in the game, not including the Ed 209 that you can find in the rulebook. But yeah, a pretty good faction, and that's it for now. Goodbye.